An ultimatum has been given to Kylian Mbappe. Let's speak to Julian, the French football expert, PSG fan. He joins us on the show now. Hi, Julian.
Hello, guys.
Nice to hear from you once again. My position is very clear, says Nasser El-Khelaifi. I don't want to repeat it every time. If Kylian wants to stay, we want him to stay, but he needs to sign a contract. We don't want to lose the best player in the world for free. We can't do that. This is a French club. He said he would never leave for free. If he changed his mind today, it's not my fault. We don't want to lose the best player in the world for a free. That's very clear. He repeated himself a couple of times when saying that. He's given him a 31st of July deadline to sign a new contract, or they're going to sell him. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true, Sam. I mean, we knew it before. The club had briefed it before, but this was the first time that we actually heard it from the big boss at the club, Nasser El-Khelaifi, who was talking before the unveiling of Luis Enrique, the new manager, and he knew we were going to ask the question anyway. So he said what he had to say, in the sense that if Kylian doesn't want to extend his contract, and there's an option with an extra year, so he would just sign another year. If he wants to stay like it is now and be a free agent in next summer, so in June 2024, then the club are not happy with that, and they would rather sell him than losing him for free, like the quote that you read. The problem is that I'm all okay with transparency, and Nasser El-Khelaifi is honest. He's saying, like, we can't lose him for free, so if he doesn't want to stay for and extend his contract, then we'll have to sell him. Is that you put yourself in a corner, because the whole world knows that now Kylian Mbappe, who doesn't want to extend his contract, who wants to stay, but just another year and then be a free agent. Then you've said to the whole world, we're going to sell him. And if you expect 150, maybe even 200 million euros for him, people are never going to pay that, because they know that you said that you were going to sell him and not keep him. So I'm not too sure about the position, and I don't know what Saif thinks about it as a former chairman, and he was in Nasser El-Khelaifi's shoes at Crystal Palace. I'm not too sure about the position that PSG are taking so publicly.
Yeah, how can they enforce this? Because actually it's up to Kylian Mbappe, isn't it? It's not up to the chairman of PSG as to what happens next.
Yeah, I think it's a statement born out of frustration from Nasser. I think he's a little bit irritated and fed up with some of the stuff that goes on around Kylian Mbappe and wants it to come to an end. Now, how it plays out, Nasser is a very bright and smart man and didn't get in the position that he's in without having the ability to be able to know why he's doing things and the reasons why and what outcomes he wants to achieve. I'm just going to ask Julian, how do you expect, you're closer to this, it's your club, you're closer to the player, you see the club's operations on a daily basis. Nasser often talks about sometimes the reaction from the French fans or the seemingly lack of appreciation for the investment that's gone into that football club. But how do you see this situation playing itself out?
For me, the only option right now for PSG, I mean, Kylian is in a win-win situation. He stays, he doesn't extend, he's a free agent in a year's time, and he can choose, he will have every club at his feet. If they really want to sell him and almost force him to go, Real Madrid right now are the only club he wants to join. They're the only club who can really afford him. English clubs can try, and City can probably put the money on the table. But Real Madrid has always been his dream, as we've said many, many times on the show. And I think this is the only club that he would be okay to go to anyway. So for PSG, the only thing they can do to save these things almost is to say to him, listen, we want to keep you another year, but you can't live on a free in a year time. So you want to stay another year. Why don't we agree the transfer now? You sign that extension, so you're not out of contract in June 2024, but in June 2025. But we agree to let you go to Real Madrid in a year time. So June 2024, you're not with us anymore. You with Real Madrid. We've kept you a year. Real Madrid have signed you now, for example, in the next 2 weeks. We've all agreed a reasonable fee, and then everybody is a winner. Real Madrid, okay, we'll have to wait another year, but they have you, and you'll be 25 and you're still young enough. You will go there. You will have another last season at PSG, one more time trying to get the Champions League, for example, and we don't lose you for free. But even saying it to you guys, it feels like unrealistic. So I think they're in a very difficult position. And again, Kylian...
Or they have to take a view on the reality of the transfer fee, because there's two things here, which is commanding maximum value or accepting the market conditions that you're in. And as you're saying the part that you're saying, Julian, and you're thinking the same way that I am, which is create a situation where you engineer an opportunity to have a bit more control, but you've got so many moving parts in that. You've got Madrid that are going to be wise to that and go, oh, really? You've got the player that is a law unto himself, and then you've got PSG trying to achieve an outcome. And to move all those parts into a cohesive space where PSG achieve what they want from it, which is a top-end transfer fee, requires unadulterated cooperation from from Kylian Mbappe, and a degree of, we accept we're going to pay more for the player than we might have to do in a year's time.
They ain't going to get
from Real Madrid
transfer fee for him.
So
it
could simply be that the Nasser. I mean, what did they when they bought him from Nice? What did they? Was it Nice
Monaco.
or Lyon or Monaco? Was it when they bought him from Monaco? What did they pay for him?
180 with all bonuses included, because he triggered all the bonuses. It was 145, raising to 180, and he triggered.
Right, and he's been there 4 years?
No, 6 years now.
6 years. So he's effectively on their balance sheet at zero value now.
Yeah,
so if they were to go and sell him for 60, 70, 80, 90 million euros,
they're making it back.
They're still making 90 million euros in this accountancy position as a profit, which helps them with FFP.
Also, the other thing is Julian, is that they're paying him an inordinate amount of money per week, aren't they?
Slightly.
So actually, if they were to get anything back and then move him on this summer to Real Madrid, they're saving themselves a huge amount of money.
You're right. And for example, there's a loyalty clause in his contract that said that if he stays another year in Ligue 1, he will pocket 70 million euros. So even from his point of view, thinking like, okay, I'm going to miss out on the 70 million euros. He will get, he's rich enough anyway already. He's got loads of money and he will keep earning a lot of money anyway. But to just go back to Simon's last point and your question, Sam, there's so many moving parts in all of this financially, in terms of the status of the club. And the word Nasser used is like, it's not negotiable because we can't be seen as losing someone like him. It's not professional for them. And the Qatari owners won't accept that. And the ruling family in Qatar won't accept to lose someone like him for nothing, really. So that's where we are. And maybe
it's also the optics as well, isn't it, Julian, about the fact that he's a French player and he's the leading French player that everyone attributes the success or the opportunities from the French national side. It's not a great look for an already slightly fractious relationship at times between the Qatari ownership and the Parisian outlook of what PSG should be. All of a sudden, the best player's out the door, going off somewhere else and doing it seemingly on his terms because he doesn't want to play for a French club.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.